I never imagined someone could be so unhinged as to ram their car into mine on purpose. But that's exactly what happened in the quiet parking lot of Willow Creek Estates. The screech of tires snapped my head up from my phone, and my jaw dropped as a gleaming white SUV barreled straight toward my Park CIVYC. The sickening crunch of metal and the shatter of glass echoed through the suburban complex, freezing me in place on the sidewalk, my cane wobbling in my grip. Then the SUV's door flew open, and out stormed Linda Harris, the HOA president, her face twisted with fury, her designer sunglasses barely clinging to her sleek blonde bob. "You think you're so special?" she shrieked, jabbing a manicured finger at me as neighbors peeked out from their homes, some already pulling out their phones to record. Let me back up. My name's Jake Turner, and I moved to Willow Creek 6 weeks earlier, hoping for some peace after a rough few years. I did 3 tours in Afghanistan, and my last mission left me with a titanium rod in my leg and a limp that's still healing. The VA hooked me up with a modest 2-bedroom unit in this well-kept complex, and thanks to the Americans with Disabilities Act and the complex's own rules, I was assigned a disabled parking spot right by my door. It was a godsend while I recovered from corrective surgery, dragging myself to physical therapy appointments. But peace? That went out the window the moment I met Linda. She showed up my first week, clipboard in hand, no hint of a welcome. "I'm Linda Harris, Willow Creek HOA president," she said, her smile as cold as her blue eyes. Her gaze flicked to my cane, then to the disabled parking permit dangling from my rear VUI mirror. I swear I could see her mind churning. "That spot's usually for permanent residents with serious disabilities," she said, her tone dripping with judgment. I calmly showed her my paperwork, doctor's notes, VA approval, the works, and explained the building manager had assigned it to me. She left with a tight-lipped nod, promising to look into it. I thought that was the end of it. Man, was I wrong. It started small. A note on my windshield suggesting I consider parking in a regular spot on my better days. Then an official-looking violation notice for misusing the disabled spot, which the manager later confirmed was fake, not from the actual HOA board. I installed a dash cam for protection, and that's when Linda got bolder. She'd linger by the mailboxes when I came or went, muttering just loud enough for me to hear. "Some people think a few years in the military means they get special treatment forever," she'd say. Or, "My brother had a leg injury, and he doesn't need a fancy parking spot." Each jab was meant to chip away at me, to make me question if I really deserved the accommodation my doctors insisted I needed. I tried to be reasonable. I explained my disability was temporary, just until I finished therapy. I showed her more paperwork, even offered to skip the spot on days my pain was bearable. But nothing worked. If anything, my attempts to compromise only made her double down. 3 weeks in, I emailed the HOA board about her harassment. Their reply? "A week, we understand, but parking's under the president's discretion." That's when I realized Linda wasn't just some busybody. She was a retired real estate agent who'd ruled Willow Creek for 15 years, with half the board in her pocket. Things boiled over one Saturday. I was hobbling to my car for a therapy session when Linda blocked my parking spot, standing there like she owned it, her son's sleek Audi idling nearby. "My son's VY sighting," she said, her smile sharp as a blade. "He's hauling furniture for me. Park somewhere else today. You can walk a bit farther, I'm sure." Her eyes dared me to argue. I took a deep breath, my leg throbbing. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Harris, but I need this spot. My leg's killing me, and I've got therapy in 20 minutes. Her smile vanished. "Do you know how many favors I called in to get my son a VY sighter's pass? Everyone sacrifices in a community." "I get it," I said, keeping my voice steady, "but this is a legally designated spot. There are VY sighter spaces around the corner." Her face turned scarlet. "Do you know who I am? I decide who parks where." A few neighbors had gathered, one shouting, "Leave him alone, Linda." Then she stepped closer, poking my chest, her voice a venomous whisper. "You're messing with the wrong person. This won't end well for you." I didn't know how right she'd be. Later that day, after therapy, I parked in my spot and went inside to rest. An hour later, I stepped out to grab a prescription and saw Linda in her SUV across the lot, staring at my car. When our eyes met, her expression shifted cold, calculated. I just reached the sidewalk when she gunned her engine. At first, I thought she was just trying to scare me. Then she floored it, her SUV slamming into my CIVYC with a deafening crash. Headlights shattered, the front end crumpled, and my heart sank. That car was my lifeline to doctors, VY sits, therapy, everything. Linda leapt out, screaming, "I'm sick of you abusing the system. Time you learned a lesson." I was shaking, my voice barely steady. "Are you insane? You just committed a crime in front of everyone." She sneered. "No one will believe you. This is my community. I run it." My hands fumbled for my phone to call 911 as neighbors filmed, some already on the line with the cops. Mrs. Chun from Unit 12 brought me a chair, seeing my leg trembling. Mr. Lopez, my next-door neighbor, stepped up beside me. "We all saw it," he said, glaring at Linda. "We've seen how she's been targeting you." For the first time, Linda's smugness faltered, her eyes darting to the neighbors' faces angry. Fed up, done with her reign. She backed toward her SUV, arms crossed, muttering, "He provoked me. He's been trouble since day one. The HOA will back me." The police rolled up minutes later, lights flashing. Officer Daniels, a calm guy with kind eyes, took my statement while his partner interviewed witnesses. Linda kept butting in, VYing her HOA title like a shield, claiming I'd broken rules and verbally attacked her. Daniels shut her down politely but firmly, and when she wouldn't stop, he escorted her to a patrol car. As they spoke, I remember my dash cam, thank God it caught everything. "Multiple witnesses and your footage confirm your story," Daniels told me. A tow truck hauled my wrecked car away, but neighbors stepped up, offering rides to my appointments. Then came the moment everyone in Willow Creek still talks about. Linda Harris, HOA tyrant, handcuffed, and reader rights. "You're under arrest for criminal damage, reckless endangerment, and assault with a deadly weapon," the officer said. "This is outrageous. I'm the HOA president," she wailed, her face pale except for 2 furious red spots on her cheeks. That night, an emergency HOA meeting was called. I showed up, leaning on my cane, backed by neighbors who'd seen it all. Linda's husband sat in the corner, red-faced, as my Loyola College buddy who knows disability law laid out the EVY Denke. Emails, fake violation notices, witness statements. The board voted unanimously to boot Linda from her throne. Her husband slipped out, probably to scrape together bail money. 3 days later, at her arraignment, the prosecutor hit her with felony charges, criminal damage, reckless endangerment, assault with a deadly weapon, plus hate crime enhancements for targeting me because of my disability. If Con VY Ted, she's looking at up to 7 years behind bars and fines overdue law $50,000. The judge didn't flinch, denying her lawyer's plea to downgrade the charges. "The defendant showed malicious intent to harm a vulnerable person," he said. As they led Linda away, she shot me a look pure venom, like she couldn't fathom her kingdom crumbling. For the first time, I felt the weight lift. I wasn't just some guy she could bully. I had a community behind me and the law on my side. So what do you think? Was Linda just a power-hungry control freak? Or did she genuinely believe she was protecting her community? Should HOA presidents have this much power over people's lives? And what about did I do enough to de-escalate? Or should I have fought back harder from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if this story got your blood boiling. And subscribe for more real-life drama. Let's keep this conversation going.